Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing my breakdown video for the Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder showdown that's taking place Saturday, February 12th on DAZN. It's Super Bowl weekend right here. So there is a couple good fights on, that weekend. And I think this is the biggest one, of course, that weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it because this is basically two super middleweights at a crossroads right here. It really is. It's a significant fight, for the winner. And the loser, hey, that might be all she wrote for the loser. That might be, time to think about possibly doing something else, But the winner really is going to take a big step up and lead to a bigger fight. These are two guys that are in their 30s and they're trying to hang on to, being serious contenders. So with the breakdown videos, again, I do the favorite and then the underdog asking a bunch of questions. And then at the end of the breakdown, of course, I give my prediction on the winner, but it's a full breakdown and, we really get into it. So Saturday, December 12th on DAZN. Let's start with the favorite, Daniel Jacobs. So the first question is, the first thing is what has Danny Jacobs been doing to rolling into this fight? And the truth is, not much. Heading into this fight, it's going to be about a 15-month layoff for him. He hasn't fought since November of 2020 when he scored a very, very controversial and ugly split decision over Gabriel Rosado in a fight where he was a big favorite and he just didn't really do much at all. Danny Jacobs realistically has only fought twice since May of 2019 when he lost to Canelo. So we're talking it's by the fight night, it's going to be 3 months shy of 3 years since he lost to Canelo in that middleweight unification bout, and he's only fought 2 times. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and got a 5th round TKO after he had broken Chavez's nose and Chavez couldn't continue. Jacobs was controlling the action and winning the fight for sure, but he beat Chavez Jr. And then he followed that up beating Gabriel Rosado by a controversial split decision. So right now there's a lot of people questioning if Danny Jacobs' heart is into it, and we're going to see on February 12th if he's ready to go, because he's 34 now, and this, in my opinion, is his last run to determine if he's still a top dog in a serious threat. So I really hope he doesn't overlook John Ryder, and I really hope he comes in prepared. Now, what kind of fight does Danny Jacobs need to have to win this fight? I think Danny needs to box. He needs to do his thing, jab, set up his punches, and have those explosive moments where he lets his hands go, but smart. Lets his hand go by setting up his jab and landing that big right hand and stuff. And, just using his whole arsenal of skill, because at the end of the day, he is the superior boxer here. But he's got to be smart. He's got to be effective, with his jab and set up his power punches. Don't go searching for a knockout. Try to break down John Ryder. And I think he will be successful if he can do that. Can Danny Jacobs win by knockout? I think he can, but that shouldn't be his goal. His goal should be to get 12 hard rounds in, to push forward, to shake off some rust. So he should go into it prepared for 12 rounds and go try to break him down. But yeah, can he win by knockout? I think Danny's got the power to win by knockout, but I think more like a decision, and that's the next question. Can he win by decision? And I think he can win by decision. I think he can completely outbox John Ryder and look good doing it and win a decision, and that will really go a long way. Now, what does this fight mean for Danny Jacobs? What does a win here mean? And it means everything. It really will secure him moving forward with what I think is probably the final chapter of his career. I really believe that. If we want to take him serious and he wants a shot at winning a championship in another weight class, he has to win this fight. It's imperative. It's huge. He has to win. So it's a big, big fight for him to win right here. What does it mean for him? And if he loses, that could be all she wrote. I think he might want to seriously consider retiring, if he loses this fight to John Ryder. You know, so now we move on to the underdog, John Ryder, and see and look at him and ask the same questions. Now, what has John Ryder done rolling into this fight? And the truth is, not much. John Ryder, since November of 2019, when he lost that controversial decision to Callum Smith, hasn't really done anything. He hasn't fought. He's only fought a couple times, and again, I know COVID had a lot to do with that. But outside of that, he hasn't really done anything. He's been inactive, and he hasn't really done much. So, you know, he really is in the same boat as Danny Jacobs somewhat. You know, he's only fought maybe 2-3 times since then, and it hasn't been against top-tier competition or anywhere even close to the top 10. And, yeah, so he's kind of in the same boat rolling in. Now, what kind of fight does John Ryder need to have? I think pressure is going to win him this fight. He's got to pressure Danny Jacobs, not let Danny Jacobs dictate the pace by stepping back and boxing. He needs to put the pressure on him, cut the ring off by doing that. Don't just stalk him and come straight at him. He needs to cut the ring off and land the body shots. Wear down Danny Jacobs. That way in the second half of the fight, Danny can't control the pace with his boxing ability, and John Ryder can take over. If he can work the body in the first half of the fight and tire Danny Jacobs out, Danny might struggle till the final bell to, you know, be aggressive and stuff. So that might help him out immensely to win the fight. Now, can John Ryder win this fight by knockout? It's going to be tough because Danny Jacobs got a great chin, and John Ryder's not a huge power puncher. But I still believe that it's possible for John Ryder to win by knockout. He'd have to wear Danny Jacobs down, but maybe Danny's at that age. I know he's been inactive enough to where you can argue that he could do it. So I think it's possible. I'm going to say it's a lot less likely, but I'm not going to completely rule it out either because, hey, as I said, you know, Danny hasn't been very active as of late. So he might, you know, it might be a good time, you know, or it might be one of those moments where he can be effectively broken down and stopped, you know, because he's been out of the ring for a while. So I think it's possible. Can John Ryder win a decision? I honestly think if he can break down Danny Jacobs and keep coming at him and cut the ring off, he can win rounds, much the way he did Callum Smith. You know, just put the pressure on and try to win rounds, and I think it's possible to get a decision. I think I wouldn't completely rule it out. Now, what does this fight mean for John Ryder to win? It means everything. I mean, it's huge. If he wins this fight, it means everything for his career. He can totally get right back in the mix for a title shot, and he's right there if he can pull off the victory and the upset over Danny Jacobs. So it means everything to John Ryder's career to keep it going and people to take him serious, you know. And I think a win over Danny Jacobs legitimizes him as not just like a guy who had a good fight against Callum Smith a couple years ago when nobody expected that. I think this legitimizes him as, hey, he's probably a serious guy. So you know, that's it right there on that. Now, what can he win this fight by a knockout? Or I already said that. I'm sorry. The last two questions now. Is it better for boxing if Danny Jacobs wins or if John Ryder wins? And the truth is, Danny Jacobs. He's got the name. He's more established. It's going to lead to bigger fights if he wins. John Ryder's a European guy. You know, his losses have kind of piled up on him. Danny Jacobs has only lost to the best. And it's not going to be terrible for boxing, but we're going to lose a guy who's got an established name if Danny Jacobs loses, and that sucks. So it's better for boxing if Jacobs wins. And now finally, who's going to win this fight between Danny Jacobs and John Ryder? You know, I really do believe John Ryder's a live underdog and could definitely pull off the upset in this one. But I got to favor Danny Jacobs. I do. I think Danny wouldn't be taking on a guy like John Ryder in his first fight back after 15 months if he wasn't taking it serious and ready to go. And he's been rumored to be in line to move all the way up to light heavyweight to fight Joe Smith prior to this. So I think Danny wants to give it one last run, and he's taking it serious, and I think he's going to take it serious. So I think February 12th is going to be a good fight. I think he's going to be ready, and I think he's going to box his way to a convincing unanimous decision. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryder's hungry, if he puts the pressure on and can pull off the upset. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a very close fight. So we got to see what happens. But Saturday, February 12th on DAZN, we're going to get an answer. Danny Jacobs versus John Ryder, Super Middleweight Showdown. I hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.